We often wonder, why did this have to happen to me? Sometimes, when life blesses us with abundance, we can become proud and lose sight of the greater plan. In the end, only time truly reveals what is a blessing and what is a curse. Perhaps you're facing a tough time right now, feeling lost and uncertain. Or maybe life is comfortable, so comfortable that you've started to forget about the future. If so, then this story is for you. It won't just make you think. It might just change your perspective on everything. Now, let us listen to the following story. A story that teaches how life's twists and turns, whether they seem good or bad, are all part of a grander design. Once, at the foot of a lush green hill, nestled beside a thick, mysterious forest, there was a small, peaceful village. In that village lived a humble and wise man named Mr. Adam. He lived a simple life, often struggling to make ends meet, but his heart was always full of contentment and gratitude. He saw the good in every day, no matter how challenging it seemed. Helping him on his small farm was his only son, Daniel, a bright and energetic young man. And by their side was their loyal white horse, Max. Max wasn't just an animal, he was family. Strong, intelligent, and with a spirit as pure as his coat, he was beloved by both father and son. Together, the three of them worked the land, their days filled with hard work, simple joys, and the quiet rhythm of the countryside. One afternoon, a lavish black carriage, a sight rarely seen in the village, rolled down the dusty road. From it stepped a rich businessman from the city, Mr. Smith. He had heard tales of the magnificent white horse and had come to see Max for himself. Instantly impressed by the horse's beauty and strength, he offered Mr. Adam a sum of money so large it could have changed his life forever. But Mr. Adam, with a calm and gentle smile, politely refused. "He is not for sale," he said. "He is part of our family." The villagers who had gathered to watch couldn't believe it. They whispered and gossiped, calling him foolish for turning down such a fortune. Mr. Smith, surprised and a little annoyed, eventually left, leaving the villagers to shake their heads in disbelief. Just a few days later, a shadow fell over Mr. Adam's home. Max was gone. The stable gate was open, and the beautiful white horse had vanished. Mr. Adam and Daniel were heartbroken. They searched all night, their lanterns cutting through the foggy forest, their voices calling out his name until they were hoarse. But there was no sign of Max. The news spread through the village like wildfire. The same people who had called Mr. Adam a fool now mocked him. See, he was too proud. He didn't deserve that horse anyway, they sneered. But through it all, Mr. Adam remained serene. He sat by the empty stable, his gaze fixed on the moonlit hills. When Daniel expressed his frustration, his father simply said, "In every event, there is a seed of good and a seed of bad. We just can't see it yet." A few days passed, filled with a heavy silence. Then one morning, as the sun cast its golden rays over the hills, a breathtaking sight appeared. Max was galloping home, and he wasn't alone. Following close behind him were 5 wild horses, just as strong and beautiful as he was. The villagers stared, their mouths wide open in astonishment. The very horse they thought was a lost fortune had returned, bringing an even greater one. "Perhaps he simply went to find his herd," Mr. Adams said, his voice as calm as ever. Even in this moment of incredible joy and vindication, he remained humble and peaceful. He gently petted Max's neck, his face illuminated by the warm sunrise, a picture of pure gratitude. Filled with new purpose, Daniel began the difficult task of training the wild horses. Every day, from dawn till dusk, he worked with them in the field, his face streaked with sweat and dirt, his determination shining in his eyes. He was young, strong, and felt invincible. But one fateful afternoon, his confidence got the better of him. While trying to tame the most spirited of the wild horses, he was suddenly thrown to the ground. A sharp crack echoed through the air. His leg was broken. His father rushed to his side, his face etched with concern, but not panic. Once again, the village whispers started. This is his punishment for their pride, some said. First the fortune, now the fall. It's a curse. But as he carefully tended to Daniel's bandaged leg by candlelight, Mr. Atom repeated his timeless wisdom. What seems bad today may be good tomorrow. Good or bad, only time will tell. Not long after, the drums of war began to beat. Soldiers marched into the village, their orders clear. All able-bodied young men were to be conscripted into the army. Panic and grief swept through every home as sons were taken from their families. Mothers wept. Fathers stood in stoic silence, and a deep sadness fell over the land. All young men were forced to go except one. Daniel, with his broken leg, was deemed unfit for service. He could only watch from his window as his friends marched away. The months that followed were filled with sorrow. The war was brutal, and many of the young men who left the village never returned. The fields felt empty, and the once lively community was shrouded in grief. One morning, a group of villagers came to Mr. Atom's cottage. Their eyes were filled with a new understanding, their faces streaked with tears of both sorrow and awe. "Mr. Atom," they said, their voices trembling, "you are so lucky. You are so wise. Your son is safe." Later that day, as the sun streamed through the window, Mr. Atom sat with Daniel. "Do you see, my son?" he asked gently. Losing Max seemed like a terrible loss, but it led to him bringing us 5 more horses. Breaking your leg was painful and seemed like a disaster, but in the end, it saved your life. A wave of understanding washed over Daniel. He looked at his father, his eyes glistening with tears of peace and realization. He finally understood the deep wisdom his father had been trying to teach him all along. Mr. Atom placed a hand on his son's shoulder. When something good happens, do not be consumed by pride. And when something bad happens, do not fall into despair. Everything is a passing moment in the grand tapestry of time. The real lesson is this: the labels of good and bad are often temporary. Everything passes. We may not understand the Creator's plan today, but with patience and faith, one day, we will see the bigger picture. If this story resonated with you, please show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. Let us know what you learned from Mr. Atom's journey in the comments below. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next story.